Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Now, a lot of people are reporting that Kell Brook is going to be fighting Errol Spence next. And that's false information because there hasn't been a contract that's been signed. Also, there's a purse bid scheduled for February 7th. So, after the purse bid, then we can talk about contracts being signed. More than likely, Kell Brook would win the purse bid. And it would be a 75-25 split in favor of Kell Brook, with Errol Spence having to come to the UK to fight him, right? Now, Eddie Hearn is saying that the fight is 70 to 80% done, whatever that even means. But Eddie Hearn has, advised Kell Brook to move up to 154 because Kell Brook kills himself to make 147, right? But Kell Brook is willing to drop down to 147 for Amir Khan, right? He's willing to drop down to 147 for Manny Pacquiao, right? You see, we're gonna back up a little bit here because people keep saying that Kell Brook is looking for a big fight, and he is looking for a big fight, but things always fall through. And I'm more inclined to say that they're falling through because of Kell Brook's side of the equation as opposed to the other side. This is all Kell Brook had to do if he wanted a big fight. Last summer, he was offered a fight with Jesse Vargas, right? This is before he took the fight with Kell Brook. He had an opportunity to fight Jesse Vargas in a unification fight. If I'm not mistaken, Jesse Vargas was going to come over to the UK to fight Kell Brook. The issue was the compensation for Kell Brook, as I believe Jesse Vargas was asking for too much money or something like that, so the fight never materialized. But this is what should have happened. You should have had him come out to the UK, you should have paid him his money, and more than likely you would have beaten Jesse Vargas, and you would have had the WBO and the IBF championships, right? You would have had 2 belts at 147, which puts you in even more of a position to negotiate for a big fight. Now let's put things into perspective again. Let's look at Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. When Floyd Mayweather comes back to fight, when he comes back, what belt does he always go after when he comes to fight? Or if he takes a layoff, or if he's looking to fight an opponent, if he doesn't have a belt, what belt is he looking to capture? Floyd Mayweather's looking to capture the WBC belt, right? Now let's look at Manny Pacquiao. If Manny Pacquiao is beltless, if he's on a hiatus from boxing, what belt is he looking to come back and get if he becomes an active fighter again? He's looking to get that WBO strap, right? So Kell Brook could have already had the WBO and the IBF championship. Now that would have opened him up to a unification fight with maybe Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, at least at some point, right? Is that too far? Is that too much to say? Is that too much to think? I mean, he had an opportunity to fight Timothy Bradley. That fell through. Diego Chavez, that fell through. He had Bam Bam. He had an opportunity to fight him too. Like, you've had opportunities to fight big fights, but you've always declined. It's always been on you. So now we're in a situation where Kell Brook's mandatory is Errol Spence. And it's looking like he doesn't want to fight Errol Spence. So let's put this shit to rest about him going up to fight Triple G. So he was pursuing a big fight, and he decided, I think he was in negotiations with who was he negotiating with Jesse Vargas, right? And then he decided to fight Gennady Golovkin. Why did he fight Gennady Golovkin? Is it because he has big cojones? Pause. Is it because he thought he had a chance at winning the fight? No, he didn't. He knew he didn't have a chance to win in that fight. Let's be honest. Going up 2 weight classes, I mean, everyone says, "Oh, he's big for 147." If anything, he's a 154 pounder. All right, not a 160 pound fighter at all. Kell Brook fought Triple G and he got his orbital bone broken. So you can't tell me he's a 160-pound fighter. He could have gotten stopped. Kell Brook could be blind for the rest of his life had his corner not thrown the towel in, right? So what happens when he fights Triple G? He gets a huge payday, 1. And 2, he does lose his O, but it's not to any of the other welterweights, right? So what he can do is he can drop back down in weight and say, hey, I've never been beaten by one of these welterweights. You know, my O is gone, but it's because I lost to Triple G, one of the most feared fighters in all of boxing right now, right? Okay, then. So next thing is, he doesn't want to fight Errol Spence because of the money situation, right? No. I don't buy that either, because who of his mandatory has been in the past? Or let's take it a step further. Errol Spence doesn't bring any money to the table, and Errol Spence is not a known fighter. Okay? So answer this question for me. How much money does Kevin Bizier bring to the table? How much money does Jojo Dan bring to the table? Who knows who either of these fighters are? Nobody over here in the U.S. knows who the fuck them dudes are. I didn't know who the fuck them dudes were. So you're telling me that your payday's not going to be bigger than those two guys when you fight Errol Spence? Not only is Errol Spence willing to go to the UK to fight you, he's okay with the 75-25 split. You know, Eddie Hearn said that he's been throwing out offers, but Errol Spence's team has been quiet about it, right? They're going to let it go to purse bid. You guys win the purse bid, the fight will be in the UK. It's nothing, because it's going to be man down when he goes to the UK. Personally, I don't think Kell Brook wants this fight. He doesn't want this fight. Eddie Hearn doesn't want this fight. Eddie Hearn wants Kell Brook to move up to 154, right? Why does he want Kell Brook to move up to 154? Kell Brook fans will be like, oh, that's so he can fight against Erislandy Lara, and he can fight Canelo Alvarez, and he can fight one of the Charlo brothers. No. See, that's not what's going to happen. He's not even going to fight someone like a Demetrius Andrade. You see, Kell Brook is undersized for his size. You know, he doesn't have a long reach. He's what, 5'9"? Those guys are like 6 feet tall with a much longer reach than him. So do you really think he's going to fight someone that's a threat at 154? No. What Kell Brook is going to do if he goes up to 154 is he's going to cherry pick the fucking weakest fighters at 154. Just like he's been cherry picking fighters at 147. You know, it's funny how a guy is an A-level fighter when he's only had 2 tough fights in his entire career. And in those fights, he's 1-1. The first one against Sean Porter. He beat Sean Porter to win the IBF championship, right? And 2, he fought Triple G and he fucking lost. So, what's the deal? How is Kell Brook an A-level fighter when he is not fighting A-level opponents? At least on more than 1 or 2 occasions. You know, Kell Brook fans are so fucking delusional. Y'all just don't get it. You know, I try to keep shit real on this motherfucking channel, alright? But y'all don't see through this bullshit. You don't see through this fucking bullshit that Eddie Hearn is throwing your way. You don't see through the fucking lisp and bullshit that Kell Brook talks. He's fucking scared of Errol Spence. Because what happens if he fights Errol Spence and he loses to Errol Spence? He's fucking done. His career's done. Because not only did it seem like he was afraid to make the fight, he also lost the fight. If that's what the outcome's going to be. You know, I listened to Travis Gotti Boxing. He made a good fucking point. If Errol Spence fights Kell Brook and he knocks him down, what does that say about Errol Spence? What does that say about Kell Brook? Because Kell Brook does have a good chin. He wasn't dropped by Triple G. You know? Put that into consideration too, okay? So again, I'm a little off topic, but we got the purse bid coming on February 7th. We'll see how that goes. You know, I want to see the fight. I don't want Kell Brook to drop the belt. I want to see this fucking fight, regardless of what the outcome is. If Kell Brook wins, I'll give him his fucking props. You know, we ain't finna say that Errol Spence is a hype job if he beats Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? We're not going to get they're already getting the excuses ready, you know, for Kell Brook, if he loses, he's drained. He's not a 147 fighter. He really needs to be a 154. Oh, he's coming off a rough loss against Triple G. Oh, his orbital bone was broken. Nah, don't give me that fucking bullshit. No matter who wins this fight, the winner's gonna get full credit from me and from the boxing public, all right? I keep shit fucking 100 on this channel, all right? And if you can't see that fucking Kell Brook is scared to fight Errol Spence, open your fucking eyes. Old Chizzy Wizzy don't want it. He don't want that shit. He don't want unification fights. He wants money. That's why he was going after Amir Khan, because he knows he can beat Amir Khan. Simple as that. Amir Khan said, no, fight Errol Spence first. I'll fight the winner. So you have zero fucking options right now. If you drop that belt, I'm getting on this motherfucker. I'm calling you a pussy all day. Everyone else is going to call you a pussy. So win that purse bid. Get that 75-25 split. Get ready to fight in the UK and get ready to get knocked the fuck out in front of all your fans by Errol Spence. Hitman Boxing, I'm out this bit.